Based on some recent conversations, I think it's time to do another video to explain how Dearborn got its weird geography. So on our wall here is this 1929 map of Dearborn that shows the newly consolidated city here, and you can see that the community really effectively developed as two separate cities. Now, until 1929, East Dearborn used to be called the city of Fortson. A few years before that, it was the city of Springwells. Now, the village and city of Springwells was established in 1919 from this, Springwells Township, or what remained of it at the time. So Springwells Township actually used to extend as far east as the Corktown neighborhood of Detroit, but over the years, Detroit gradually annexed more and more of the township. So this is an 1893 map, and you could see at the time it used to include areas like Delray and much of the western area of Detroit. Now looking close, this is the Michigan and Schaefer area or around Old City Hall. Going further down here, this is the General Ford Rouge plant area, where this little creek really flows into the Rouge River. That is basically where the Rouge plant would be exactly. Now, West Dearborn, or the original village of Dearborn, was established on former military land to basically serve the Dearborn Arsenal military base. So for decades, the village of Dearborn remained a fairly small community surrounded by the rural lands of Dearborn Township. Now, as Ford investment started to grow in the area, the old village of Dearborn started to gradually expand into formerly rural areas of Dearborn Township. But what you see by the late 20s is that Dearborn is really struggling to handle this massive amount of expansion because they don't really have the full-scale industrial tax base that old Fortson over here has with the Rouge plant. Meanwhile, by the late 20s, Fortson is having its own issues, and really its main problem is the fact that the city developed too quickly. By the late 20s, there really isn't much land left for any major developments like building big parks, building hospitals, and so on. And so with these issues faced by both communities, there starts to be a movement to merge Fortson and Dearborn. Now, they have a formal election in 1928 and end up fully merging in January 1929. With this whole merger, as Fortson was actually the bigger community than Dearborn, we view this as more an establishment of an entirely new Dearborn. And thus, the establishment of today's modern city is really in 1929.